Hello, beautiful ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you wonder about that weird title, stick around to the end. I got a special fifth dimensional message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness. And it's never been done before, so stick around. Meanwhile, though, we're going to do Morissette, Amon, and David Foster. I Will Always Love You, and I Have Nothing. I heard it's great, so let's see if they're telling me the truth.
I lost. Well, you know what? I'm just going to bring her back out here. We'll talk about it together. Please welcome back to the stage the incredible Morissette.
How do you even follow that? That was amazing.
Well, you can.
That was amazing. I can't.
I mean, the level of singers on here, between you and Kat and Pia and Martin and Daniel, I mean, come on.
Oh.
And then we also had...
So I guess this is some concert where he's calling her out. This must be David Foster. If you know anything about this, put it in the comments, by the way. And like and subscribe, by the way. Like this, like mine, like hers later. It's in the notes. And then subscribe so you see more.
And for everyone
We had
here.
Monica.
Yes.
And we had...
Hello.
Josh Groban Jr. over there.
Hello. Hello.
We've been having fun out here. Thank you. So I was saying to the folks that I lost for the bodyguard, Whitney Houston. How's
That's
that possible?
impossible.
But I know, but how did we?
I don't know why.
Is there any Whitney Houston fans out there?
Everyone.
And I know you. Well, who was your biggest influence growing up, like singer-wise? Probably. Can I guess?
Okay.
All right, do you want to hear this, guys? Or should I skip forward? I don't know. I mean, it's kind of interesting, to hear what he's talking about, hear them converse. But on the other hand, all right, let's just keep going.
You've never talked about this before,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Actually, it's unfair because I shifted genres from here and there.
Right, because I'm probably somebody like Alanis would be somebody that you really liked, or that you were...
My dad, but I also love Alanis. I think she's gonna have a concert here as well pretty soon. I'm excited for that.
But maybe
triumphant, and it would be my honor.
Let's win tonight, shall we?
We shall.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you.
Whitney fans, Morissette fans.
Let's go. David fans, let's go.
Hit it.
Share my life, take me from where I am, 'cause I'll never change. All my confidence from you. I don't really need to look very much further. I won't ever have to go where you don't find it. I'll hold it back again. This passion inside, I can't run from myself. There's no way to hide. Your love I remember forever. Now make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore.
I gotta cut it off. We gotta go back and hear that again. Oh my God. And every time I hear this song, I think of Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, and I want to cry because it was so beautiful. It was such a great movie. Wasn't it a great movie? And she sang it so great, and Kevin Costner is awesome all the time. And I just wanted them to stay together. I didn't understand why they couldn't, but that's another story. Here we go. Let's keep going. Let's hear when she hits that big one, okay? When she really belts it.
I don't really need to look very much further. I won't ever have to go where you don't find it. I'll hold it back again. This passion inside, I can't run from myself. There's no way to hide. Your love I remember forever. Now make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Say
gotta hear that again. Okay, we gotta hear that again. Hold on. We gotta hear that again. Hold on. That was really so great. Well done, huh? Hang on. So I just got to say this. Wow, wow, wow. The whole part, the whole thing. I'd have to do that over and over again for each little bit of it. Oh my gosh. And look at, she turned her back right to the audience. You're not supposed to do that, right? As a performer. But look, she did it and she pulled it off. And she still rocked it. She turned her back right to us. Let's go back just a little and see that bit again. Where she turns her back. Let's see. It's like she feels the song in her whole body and she has to move it, however it goes. She goes into the other one, I guess, now. Let's see.
The love song of the century.
Sing with us, everybody.
Showing the movie in the background and I want to cry. Oh man. Oh. I don't like to compare, but man, she is rocking this song. She sings it just as well as Whitney. I mean, really, you got to just admit it. I mean, I won't say one's better than the other, but wow. Let's go back a little bit.
Dreams of and I'm wishing you joy and happiness. But above all this, I am wishing you love. And
Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Give it up for your very own Morissette.
thank you, son.
Oh my goodness. Now wait a minute. I didn't think they stayed together, but maybe I recalled that incorrectly. I for some reason thought they stayed apart. Maybe I was just remembering the part before she jumps back off the plane. That was so meaningful to me. It was like, oh, painful. Hold on.
Wow, beautiful.
Oh, so that's it. So, oh, what a great job she did, huh? And you know, I just have to say, you know, that's like really what it's all about. That's what the experience of us coming here to this planet was all about, or just coming from being spirits to being physical beings at any planet, is what it's all about. Is like that, like just so we could experience those emotions, because we'd never had that. You had all the emotions of like the love and the joy and all that, but you didn't feel like not the lack of it, so it wasn't as powerful. You know, you only had the understanding of how wonderful love is by feeling the lack of it, right? And that wasn't available in the higher realms, and that's why we came to a physical reality, so we could feel like we were not, everything was not perfect in every way. And then when we had something like love, or like a connection to the divine or any of that, it was so much sweeter, like 1,000 times sweeter. And this one is like, oh my goodness, you know, when they almost lose their love there, it breaks your heart. But then they come and they hug, and oh, so much better, right? Than if they actually so much better than if they had just said, well, we'll stay together, you know, before. But I don't know. Did they finally in the final analysis stay together? Somebody comment on that, because I kind of didn't think they did in that movie. But Morissette Amon did an absolutely spectacular job about this on this song. And let's see, what are we going to rate it? Like on my scale of 1, for those of you who don't know, 1 being very third dimensional, like I'm rating these songs so you can see what's going to pull you more toward fifth dimensional and what's going to pull you more toward third dimension. And third dimension, fear, pain, suffering, anxiety, sadness. And fifth dimension, love, joy, peace, bliss, and all that. So this one is about love, and it is that sweetness of, you know, having felt like you were going to lose love, and then you get it. And also the other song, what was the other one? I Have Nothing. That's also about love. Now, that's a little bit of a clingy, attached love. Like, if I don't have you, I've got nothing. And that's just simply not true, because the love, when you connect to the love of the divine and the love of the higher beings, there's so much love. You can hardly even imagine it. And you could never feel a lack of love by not having any particular person's love, or by not having that person in your life. Wouldn't faze you, because there's so much love. But in this reality, it feels like that's all we got. And when I lose it, I'm done, right? So they are high vibrational in that they're love, but also some third dimensional thoughts infused in there. But they make you feel great. They make you feel uplifted. So for the two of them together, now we have to do this. Because I think the second one is more like maybe an 8.5 or an 8 maybe. The second one is an 8. The first one's a little more like a 7. So I'm going for a 7.5. Okay, 7.5 on this. Excellent job. And wow, just so, and that's not on how great she did it, by the way. If I had to scale her 1 to 10 how great she did it, I'd be way off the chart here. I'd have to go to 15 or 20, because it was so great. But oh my. So now, if you want to know, by the way, a little bit about me, you can go to the About Me video here on YouTube. And that also leads you to a longer video about my forged in the fire journey here in third dimensional reality, this earth. And I learned a lot. I gleaned a lot of things, talents, skills, learnings. And I have some offerings also that might be of interest to you, that might help lift you up to a higher place. So those can be found if you go to the YouTube and hit description and About Lorelei, drop down to About Lorelei on Patreon. So that's a little bit about that. But comment, like, did you feel like what I'm talking about, that upliftment? That second song particularly is just so uplifting. I know there's a loss in it, but there's also so much love. There's just such a massive amount of love. Even to saying that I'm always going to love you. Even if I'm not with you, I'm still always going to love you. And that's a powerful thing to say to someone that you're not allegedly going to stay with, though she did in the end, I guess, maybe. So, I mean, it's like, wow, what was I saying? I forgot. I just got off and back on the tangent of the song again. So, so, look at those if you're interested in lifting yourself up or whatever like that. And let's do my 5D message. I hope you stick around for it, because this is an historic time. This has never happened before. So you want to savor every minute about this time, every little bit about it. So but here's a good question for you. This is my question for fifth dimension. Why should I even think about this consciousness shift to the fifth dimension? Why should I even bother thinking about it, right? And that's really a good question, right? Because we're getting all of that high vibrational, divine, godlike coming into us through the sun, from the thing that we're going through now, the photon belt. So that photonic high vibrational light is coming through the sun to us, and we're getting all that. And I already talked in my last video about how we're feeling. There's all these signs that we're raising our consciousness. We are doing it, right? It's all happening. We're thinking in a higher way. We're moving in a higher direction. So why should I even concern myself and worry myself about this whole business of fifth dimension, right? Why not just let the thing happen and not consider it, not worry about it? And that's perfectly fine. I should tell you that. It's perfectly, perfectly fine to just not even think about it or worry about it, and just let the thing act upon you as it will. And it is acting upon you, and it is acting on all of us for an assurity. And you need never have a worry. You need never have a thought about it. You don't have to, and that's totally fine, as a way to sort of approach it. But if you're like me, and a lot of people I think are kind of like this too, is we want to know. We know something's going on, and we want to know more about it. Like, we're curious. We're like the cat, sticking our nose into everything. We want to know what the heck is going on, and we want to know every detail about what's going on. And once I found out that this was going on, I think it was about maybe, 7, 8. I mean, I started to learn about it about 10 years ago, but I really kind of got the concept of it maybe 7 years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is big. I have to find out this. I have to find everything out about this. I need to know, And so I started on the path. And what that did for me, actually, is it kind of made me a little further along the trajectory. So very likely, I don't swear to this, but I think it's pretty likely because I'm such a high vibration already that when the first wave of people moving to the fifth dimension happens, I sort of think I'm going to go with that first wave. I could be wrong, but if you come one day for a video, right, and there's no videos there, it's probably what happened. And I don't know who I could get to take over my video. So I don't know, maybe someone would come in and take my place, but that's very likely what happened if you come sometime and there's no more videos here. Because I'm loving this. I'm loving bringing this information. I'm loving doing these music reactions. So there's no reason I would stop it that I can conceive of unless I'm not in this dimension anymore. In which case I could come and do a video for you, but you're not going to see me because you can't see people in the higher dimensions with our physical eyes. We have to see them with our third eye, which means we have to open our third eye, which means we have to be at a pretty high dimension ourselves. It's people in a higher dimension can be seen if they wish to be seen, like the angels have dropped down now and then, right, and been seen. But it's very uncomfortable, and it's kind of frowned upon a little bit because it feels a little bit like an interference in the life of the humans on this planet to just, blast yourself out there. Like you're not there, and then suddenly you're there and just start talking to somebody, and then you disappear again. That kind of feels like a bit of an interference. So it's done very, very select times and not very often. Okay. So I believe that because of all that I have learned and I've done work, then I had, I learned things. I thought, oh, well, I guess these are some things that I can do to raise myself up in vibration and to go even more quickly than I would normally go in the normal course of time. And so I did those things, and so it did work, and so it did raise my vibration. And so I felt great when I first found out. I feel even greater now all the time. I just feel really great because I do all these different things that make me feel great, right? And that's something, by the way, she said in, was it this song or the last one, but something about loving yourself, loving yourself is not something that just happens, right? Loving yourself is an action. Love yourself is an action. You take an action. You see, love is an action verb. It hovers around everywhere in the higher dimensions, but in this dimension, all you have to do is do the thing that is loving. Put your arm around someone, give them a cuddle, give them a hug, look in their eyes, remember who they are. Give yourself a massage, go get in a hot tub, take a hot bath. And you're going to feel that love. So what was my point in saying that? So that's why, doing all those high vibrational things, doing them brought me to a higher level, a more loving space in general and to myself, even though I already had a good self-love at that point, but it's still higher and higher, right? So that's another thing that some people kind of might want to do. And that's, by the way, what I offer to people, a whole bunch of different ways to do that on my Patreon About Lorelei page that I told you about, because it's things that I've created that you might want to get involved in that could help you to feel great like I do. I feel great all the time, pretty much, once in a while, not, but for the most part. So, and so these things I've created are sort of waiting for you to partake in them because my inner guidance was to just create them. And at some point when the time's right, you'll do it. So there you go. So that would be one reason. You could just sit back, just relax, not worry about it. Just let it take a toll, let it start to happen to you. And that's no problem. That's okay. But if you wanted to be proactive, and make it go a little quicker and be in one of the earlier waves. Maybe you're not going to wait till the second or the third, even sometimes wave. Maybe you want to get out in the first wave or the second wave or whatever. This is when you could be proactive in the matter of knowing what's going on, all of that stuff, and then doing the things that will help you to be in alignment with it. And some of that is not just raising your vibration and frequency. That's important. And I've given you some of the ways that you could do that in some other videos, but it's also like purging any of the old, attachments to people or attachments to the past or thinking about the past, remembering those traumas and those things that happened to you, like purging that out, getting it up out of you. I had some exceedingly difficult things happen to me as a child that I started to remember when I was pregnant with my first child. at 30 years old, I believe it was. Yes, it was exactly 30. And I'm telling you, this was horrific to start to have these memories. And when you're pregnant with your first child, you know. And I realized then that was a kind of a trigger for me, because there was a reason why that kind of related in my mind, having a child, to the things that happened to me. So I started to have those memories, but and it was difficult. I mean, sometimes I was cowered on I can remember being cowered on the floor in a bathroom in a public church, literally just in a fetal position, crying at one of the memories that I remembered. Now I can tell you that thing straight out without a single worry about it. I don't have an emotion. I'm not sad. I won't cry. It's just that it's been so accepted, like so let go of the pain, that it's almost like it happened to someone else. Although at this point, it wasn't at that time. At this point, it feels kind of like it happened to someone else, although it did happen to me, you know, and I know it happened to me. So, you know, this is where you want to get yourself to, because all of that stuff hanging around with you, those traumas, those sadness, those pains, those attachments to other people and the things that happen to you, those are going to get kind of in your way. So that's another reason you might want to know that this is going on, so you can start getting on the path to go, if that's what you so desire. If you don't want to go to the higher dimensions, no worries. You don't. Some people will not go by choice, you know, and they'll find ways to, you know, move on in their soul or whatever. And that's perfectly fine. But probably if you're watching this video at this point and you've come this far and not just stopped at the music reaction, you probably want to go. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching. So, I'm talking to you. All right, beloved one. So really, you don't have to. There's no should. There actually is no should, even though I said should in the title, you know. There's no should there. But it might serve you to know about it, so that you can kind of get ready and get prepared for this thing that, if you're sticking around by now, you probably want to do. All right, beloved ones, I'm going to send that all to you now, that beautiful energy, that love, peace, bliss, harmony, abundance, and for everyone, you know, just freedom all coming at you now. Shh. Namaste. I honor the God in you.